How's it going? Csaba here from Game of Conversions, and I'm back with another proven sales letter breakdown video. This is the 94th edition, so we're in the home stretch, guys. And today I got a cool Jim Rutz promotion for you. So if you haven't heard of Jim Rutz before, he's one of the best copywriters of all time. He created countless controls for this company called Boardroom or Bottom Line, and he was one of the key so-called Mount Rushmore copywriters who managed to help the company grow to several $100 million in revenue. And this is one of his promotions, a magalog actually, that I wanted to break down for some time now because it's just so special. Jim Rutz definitely had an interesting copywriting style. And after I'm going to read the lead of this for you, you're going to discover why. And then we're going to just scroll through the promotion itself and see, what's up with it. So why does it work and why it's so effective. So this was written in 2000 and the headline goes like this: Limo, Larry, and Champagne Cherie, not rich, just smart. And the subhead goes, a new breed of upscale consumers learns how to get the best without actually paying for it. So you really have to have the brilliance of Jim Rutz to come up with a headline like this. Like, think about it. What are the chances for you to just come up with a headline like this? It doesn't even sound like a copywriting headline, right? It doesn't sound like any other formula that most copywriters use, including me. I sometimes, go back to some formulas, some timeless tested formulas, and then I heavily modify them based on research to come up with a nice headline. But in this case, it's really something that kind of gives away a little mini story that's going to happen here. First of all, Limo, Larry, you notice the little rhyming there. Champagne Cherie, again, the rhyming. Not rich, just smart. And then I like how he says a new breed of upscale consumers learn how to get the best without actually paying for it. So the target audience for this are people who are just like Limo, Larry, and Champagne Cherie. At least they want to be like that. They don't want to pay a lot for things, but they want the best, okay? On average, they have more money, they like the finer things in life, but they also want to make the smart decisions. They're not so rich that they can shell out money on anything they want, right? They have to make smart decisions. They're more like a strong middle class or something like that. And for them, this Bottom Line Personal, it's a newsletter, a paid newsletter that gives them plenty of tips on how to optimize various areas of their lives. Okay, so that's the product here, a paid newsletter. And we've seen this over and over before. These types of magalogs, they always sell a paid subscription and then pump up the value of a specific bonus or collection of bonuses before actually pitching the product itself, and it creates an incredibly strong value proposition. So let's see the lead here and what's happening here. It's really out of the ordinary. It doesn't really sound marketer-like or copywriter-like, it's different, but that's sometimes the most advanced type of copy in which it doesn't even sound like good copy, right? It just connects with people, and with the target audience here, it definitely connects. And also gotta give big prompts to the designer here for including this picture here. It gets people's attention, definitely. Like, look at this guy, he's polishing or like doing something with the limo here that comes out of garage as well. It's just interesting. It's like, what's going on here? So the lead and the sales letter itself starts like this: he likes $150 Turnbull and Astor shirts, but he won't pay more than $30 for them. Interesting, right? To us or to some people, this doesn't mean anything. Like, I don't even know what Turnbull and Astor shirts are. But for the target audience, remember, more upscale people, strong middle class, who have a finer taste in life, but they're still smart. They don't want to spend crazy amounts of money for something stupid. They want to get nice luxury things, but they always want to get it at a deal, right? And for them, after they read something like this, they're going to be like, wow, okay, so how can I get that shirt for $30? That's like 1/5 of the price. Interesting. Then we continue. She likes $800 three-piece Armani pantsuits, but won't pay more than $200, and brags endlessly about her $900 Judith Lieber purse, which she grabbed for $55. It's crazy, right? They fly to countries you never heard of, yet pay airfares that might get you to Disney World. And they aren't the least bit bashful about how they do it. They'll talk your ear off about their ways to make more, save more, invest better, and spend a lot less, especially on taxes. So think about it. Again, the target audience for this, they're all interested in these things. They want to make more, they want to spend more, or spend less actually. They want to save more. They want to save on taxes big time, because if we're talking about people who earn more, coincidentally, they have to pay more taxes. And obviously, who likes to pay more taxes? Nobody. And then the lead continues. They're the new middle-class rich, an extremely well-read category of consumers descended from those original 1950s fanatics who would buy anything as long as it was wholesale. You remember, like your eccentric uncle who had a garage full of toilet paper, Vienna sausages, and X-out golf balls that looked great until you tried to keep them in the fairway. But these folks aren't your uncle. They are the ones who are buying those $5,000 square foot houses up on the hill and sitting in first-class paint seats, which they never actually pay for, you understand. So we get a tease at the secret, right? The implicit promised secret is that if you discover the tips and tricks of these people, of the middle-class rich, you're going to find deals that nobody else can offer you anywhere. You're going to be able to get luxury things in life at regular prices. If you think about it, this same feeling, this same, let's just say, emotion that's triggered here was kind of triggered by Starbucks when Starbucks got started, right? It's basically affordable luxury. So buy, let's just say, luxury coffee compared to normal coffee, let's just say, because we have way better coffee than Starbucks, but let's just say luxury coffee at an affordable price. And most people, they want to enjoy luxury. They want to enjoy the finest things in life, but they don't want to pay for it, right? And they are going to feel like they're smart. If they get these more luxurious things at a discount, they're going to feel better about themselves. They're going to feel smart about themselves, and they're going to feel like, they are better than other people, other schmucks who are paying full price or retail or something like that. So I think that's the main value proposition here, and that's the main appeal, is that if you discover the secrets of the middle class rich, which is discoverable from reading Bottom Line Personal magazine, then you'll be able to also find out more about all these things. So then the copy continues. How? Just as an objection handling element, like how can they do that? That's the subject of this special issue of Bottom Line Personal. It's an eye-opening collection of tips and tactics that can stop the bleeding in your bank account, keep you out of financial traps, and move you into a lifestyle that's several notches above the Joneses. Again, think about it. For these middle-class, suburban people, appearances are definitely important. And showing off to your neighbor by having a better car, taking a better vacation, and all these vanity things, they're super important. Keeping up with the Joneses and even doing better, like several notches above the Joneses. For them, this gives a lot of value. And this is the brilliance of Jim Rutz here, is that he discovered the real motivating factor behind these things, and he found an angle which triggers people's deeper motivations, not just money or make more or earn more. These are ethereal things in a sense, but you're gonna feel better than your neighbor. You're going to be able to brag to him that or her that you went on a better vacation but paid less than them. That's the value proposition here. I know it's a vanity thing, but this is what the target audience wants in this case. So take a pencil, sit down, and prepare to check off a few dozen items that can change the way you live. Everything you read in the following pages will be explained in a book they'll send you free. So we already get a little introduction to what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a free book basically, which is the free bonus when you subscribe to the paid newsletter, okay? But it definitely builds desire. And then we also have these little insert cards here. One is about insurance, like how you will be able to make much better insurance. And the other one is send your kid to Canada, like how you can save a fortune on college. Because think about it, again, we're talking about a target audience whose kids are going to want to go to expensive colleges, right? And it's super expensive, and then the target audience has to save up for it. Well, what if, you know, there was a way to send them to Canada in which they get the same education, maybe even better in some cases, and you pay way, way, way less. Again, maybe it's a smart thing. And then we have the typical magalog type of fascinations that basically are like a trailer to the rest of the magalog itself, because we want people to consume more of the copy. The more of the copy they consume, the more likely they are to convert, because the more energy, the more time and effort they invest. It's very, very important. I always tell this in every single video, but you might have missed several of my other videos, probably you did, and you might have not heard this before, but it's very important to get people invested in the copy itself, because the more they consume it, the more they'll buy. And by the way, speaking of my other videos, if you're new here on the channel, first of all, what are you doing? Make sure to subscribe. You're gonna find the button below this video, and I'm gonna leave a link in the description section that links to the entire Proven Sales Letter Breakdown playlist, and there you're gonna find 93 other videos just like this, breaking down timeless, extremely successful copywriting case studies, right? And you're gonna learn so much from these videos for free. So if you enjoy these things, then like the video and definitely check out that playlist. So let's see what else is going on in this magalog, because remember, it might seem like there's like a random collection of things. It doesn't seem like a cohesive sales letter, but the reason for that is because we want to give people multiple entry points to our offer. We're gonna hook them from a how to optimize your college spend type of angle, how to optimize your insurance type of angle, how to get a better car cheaper, how to save on taxes, all these things, right? And then we have on the second page, we have a little personal note from Martin Edelston, who was the founder of Bottom Line Personal or Boardroom, and he's the face of this whole thing. Jim Rutz was the copywriter, but Martin is the face of it. So he says, "Dear high-class bargain hunter," you see, we're qualifying people, high-class bargain hunter. Bottom Line Personal may be the most addictive magazine of our time. It's like we printed it on potato chips. Oh, that's typical Jim Rutz. I love it. It's like having 300 fans in high places who keep giving you the inside scoop of every subject. To be precise, you're hiring a large staff of interviewers and researchers who spend their days digging behind the scenes and taking to the movers and shakers of society and other people who know how the world really runs. For instance, if we want to know which washing machines fell apart, we don't hire a crew of lab technicians. We talk to the guy who's been fixing the things for 30 years. We pack our tips and secrets into powerful mini articles ranging from 2 lines to 1 page with no ads. It would take you 10 years to learn all the great stuff you'll discover in one semi-monthly issue of Bottom Line Personal. So live life the easy way. Hire our team for $29.95 a year. Let them make you a genius. Let them put you in that new category of consumer citizens, the middle class rich. You'll get used to it pretty fast. So talk about friendly copy, right? It really seems like, Martin is this super friendly insider guy who's like your ideal uncle who has all these insider information ready to give you, right? It's like having relatives higher up in all sorts of various departments doing you favors and stuff like that. This is the main value proposition here, making you, the target audience, the reader, feel like you're special and you're gonna get insider information, all the secrets, how the world really runs. And we've seen this trend before on various other boardroom or bottom line promotions. Again, link to the other examples below this video in the description section. But yeah, it's really great example of how, this is good copy. It's personal, it's easy to understand, it gets to the point, and it's persuasive. So this is probably another insert. It says the first one's free, so are the next 5. So this just shows that you're gonna get so many things for free as well. And we still have Champagne Cherie and Limo Larry. Bonus books, The Best Revenge, Living Twice as Well on the Same Income. Free when you subscribe, which you undoubtedly will after you read your 6 free issues of Bottom Line Personal. So free even if you don't subscribe. So this, again, is just sets things up for an irresistible offer, right? Because people are going to get this book, The Best Revenge, Living Twice as Well on the Same Income. Like, think about it, The Best Revenge. Like, you're going to supercharge your life, and you're going to just stick it to a lot of other people who have it better off than you. That's the promise here. And you get 6 free issues for free, which means that this is probably a soft offer. And what that means is that people can subscribe, but they don't have to pay for it up front. They only pay after a certain amount of issues. This is there to qualify more people right off the bat and get more front-end customers so that you can pitch them more stuff later on the back end. So we have several other entry points, as I said. This one, for example, stuck in a so-so job, don't give up. There's one field where you'll make $50,000 to $100,000 a year without extra training or even special talent. Page 145. So this is actually a fascination, and I've talked endlessly about fascinations before. Check out my other videos if you haven't seen those. But these build desire in people, and they also create curiosity in them. So probably when Jim Rutz wrote this, he probably wrote out several hundred lists of great fascinations, and then included some of them as the headline, some of them as multiple entry points, some of them on the cover itself, and some of them ended up here. And notice how this basically talks about the book itself that we're saying here, this one, The Best Revenge, Living Twice as Well on the same income. And this creates a lot of desire, a lot of curiosity for the tick. The other entry point, where to get a Visa card with a $100,000 limit, no annual fee, 9.9% interest, and no special qualifications. 4 years of college costs, $20,000 to $120,000. How to get your kids through free. Like, what a nice fascination, right? So from here on out, as you can see, there are so many entry points. And that's why, Boardroom had this product called the Big Book of Secrets as well, which had several other names. But the value proposition is always the same. This was before Google, if you think about it. Like, Google was there in 2000, but it was very, very basic. And nowadays you can just Google anything you want, but back in those days this type of product was priceless. It was kind of like a treasure trove of various secrets and tips and insider information. And multiple entry points. If you want to optimize stuff related to your computers, like, hey, this is how you can save 50 to 80% of them. Frequent flyers, miles expiring, like how to fly more cheaper, how to make long distance calls cheaper. What very smart people do when a friend asks for a loan. This is like another interesting entry point, because think about it, the target audience for this offer, they probably have more money, and some friends could probably came to them in the past before asking for a loan. And it's an uncomfortable situation. So what do? Well, see on page 159. Many other things free, skiing in Colorado. If you just read the copy here, it's basically just a big collection of various fascinations expanded into their own mini parts or mini paragraphs, right? Free skiing in Colorado. The Crested Butte Mountain Resort has some of the best black diamond slopes in the Rockies, blah, blah, blah. Added bonus, how you can get there and make a smart deal about it. Hotels are up to 50% off every day. Wow, I want to find out. Page 180. Get the answers, right? The call to action even says get the answers, because this builds a lot of curiosity. A lot of people are going to start wondering, like, oh, so how can I get these things? Well, get the answers. Every item on this page is explained in your free book, The Best Revenge. More stuff, related to like free upgrades on cruises. Just show a little chutzpah. It's a learnable skill. Get almost any book up to 30% off. So save money on expensive cars. Like, think about it. Our people here, they want to buy expensive cars. Just buy their cheaper clones. Many automakers, this actually gives away. This is a great example of what Brian Kurtz, who's one of the co-founders, or like he was the vice president of Boardroom, always talks about. You should give away some steak along with your sizzle. So this is giving away steak, like gives some tips and it answers them right off the bat. But many of the other tips, they're left hanging, and the only way to discover the truth about those tips and the answers to them is to buy the product and to get the free book. So this one gives it away, like how you can actually save money on expensive cars and still, keep your status up. The 6 costly mistakes that mutual fund investors make over and over. And your investment worries forever with inside help you won't find anywhere else. Again, why? Because these people in our target audience who this is aimed at, they're probably investing some money. They're putting money in 401ks, in like Roth IRAs or something like that. And they still, or like mutual funds, and they often feel like, all these financial advisors, they're trying to rip them off. And in most cases, it's true, right? There's a lot of expensive fees that eat away all the gains that these mutual funds generate. And then like, hey, how can you as the reader, optimize this yourself so that you don't have to give money to financial advisors who gonna like rip you off. Even more tips. Visiting LA, get free tickets to 40 TV shows taped in Hollywood. Antibacterial soaps. So all sorts of various entry points here. I definitely encourage you to read it because you're going to learn about fascination writing so much from this one. And fascination writing, as we've seen before, is one of the core skills in copywriting. It just helps you everywhere. It just helps you come up with better headlines, better subheads, better subject lines, better leads, better call to actions, better everything. And obviously, whenever you're selling an information product, you can use them to build desire and curiosity for the product itself. How top PhD nutritionist saves big money at the supermarket. Again, a big pain point. Like, I spend so much money on food because think about it. This target audience, they're trying to shop at Whole Foods. They're trying to spend more on like more organic type of groceries, which can be pretty expensive. So like, hey, how can you save big money by insider tips from a PhD nutritionist? So you're gonna be smarter than your neighbor. That's again always the thing that's you go back to. I love this one. How to outfox everyone who's trying to outfox you. The best revenge has to be the greatest collection of trade secrets ever compiled. It tells you how to outfox your lawyer, outfox your doctor, outfox your stockbroker, outfox your shrink, your taxman, insurance agent, banker, travel agent, everybody. And just think about, I'm sure that you have some sort of smug relative, neighbor, friend, someone like that who's middle-aged, who is like Limo Larry in this case, and they always feel like, they're the smartest guy in the room. They feel like, they made such a great deal and they're always right. And for them, it's super important to outfox everyone. It's super important to get the ego boost of feeling like, yes, they know everything better. And this appeals to that. Eugene Schwartz, one of the other greatest copywriters of all time, who basically invented half of this craft that we use nowadays, he used to say that you shouldn't manufacture desire, you should tap into already existing desires in your marketplace. And it's very important because if you think about it, if this desire to be perceived as the smart one is already there in our target audience, why try to manufacture something else, right? Just tap into this one because this is already important for them. So if you can promise them the benefit of feeding this desire more, they're gonna take you up on it. Be a 100% loyal American on 50% of the taxes. Why? Because a lot of people want to optimize their taxes, but they still consider themselves real patriots. So this solves the disconnect in their brain. They can still be like loyal Americans, honest taxpayer Americans, but who also do optimize stuff. So even more stuff. And as you can see, each one relates back to the best revenge, which is the main bonus, the main premium that comes with this offer. The number one common tax mistake. Now we just switch back to taxes. Sometimes we talk about like nutrition stuff. Sometimes we talk about investments. Here we talk about taxes. We have other people in our target audience, always like middle class, upper middle class people, who want to be smart about their money, be a real know-it-all, right? Again, know everything about everything so that on the next family dinner or on the next friendly get-together, you can tell random fun facts to people and you're going to feel great about it. That's the whole value proposition here. More stuff, quality time with children shouldn't cost more than a few pennies. Here are 5 terrific ideas that will get you started on a great new affordable track with the kids. So this is if you are a parent with some kids or maybe grandparents as well. Travel bargains on the net. I love this little laptop here. Man, 2000 was so long ago. How to have a world-class marriage. 15 too easily ignored principles. Again, think about it. The divorce rate is usually higher in this demographic because they all, want to get different things and they're both educated and, eventually once the kids fly out or maybe even earlier, people are going to disagree on a lot of things, on ego things and all these things. And hey, with this one, you can even have a great marriage. So this one, how to optimize insurance companies, your secret car warranty. Like, imagine how many great entry points here. Like, as people are flipping this, it only takes is one real nice section to really grab their attention. And once you do, they're going to buy the product. They don't even have to pay for it in itself. They're going to get 6 issues for free plus all the other bonuses. It is an irresistible offer, and that's what these magalog promotions in these times did so well that even this day, it's hard to see better offers in many cases than these original offers. And that's why I say that good copy is timeless. The fundamental persuasion principles don't change. Human psychology doesn't change, and these types of offer structures also don't really change that much. And nowadays, I see many way sloppier sales letters than this one. How to prevent the biggest financial disasters that strike women today. Okay, so this is there for women. Don't fall for extended warranties. All sorts of other tips on how to not get ripped off, how to be a wise ass, know-it-all, and just be a smarter, more accomplished, and happier person. For example, think about it. Save big money at the bank. Turn down the first loan they offer. Somewhere in your town, there's an honest auto repair shop, but maybe just one. How to find it? Because again, it's a big pain point. Most people feel like their mechanic is ripping them off. Starting your own business? Great. But first, you must memorize the 4 grim facts of life about lawsuits. Preparing your mortgage. Sometimes it's not a good idea. Don't take no for an answer from an airline. Again, big pain point. Sometimes, especially in the US, it's hard to find good seats during times in which you want to fly. So here's how you can save money and book your flight, even if they try to reject you. Welcome to the middle class rich. So now, as we're getting closer to the close itself and the offer, we get a little, reminder of what this whole thing is about. It's a limited time offer. You got to act right now. And if you take us up on this offer, we're going to introduce you and basically knight you in the middle class rich just demographic group or something like that. So another bunch of fascinations, availability guaranteed for 10 days only. This is a little urgency here. So this kind of gets into the offer itself. You get even more fascinations here, and this is probably the order form. So free issue, free book, free membership in the middle class rates. So are we worried about giving you too much for free? Not at all. We're pretty sure you'll send us some money just as soon as you discover you really are joining the middle class rich. We'll start you on that path with these 3 roadmaps. 1, valuable free copy of your bottom line bag of tricks if you reply in 10 days. So this is the fast action bonus. 6, free issues of Bottom Line Personal. We're betting that you won't be able to stop after you read just 6 issues. We think you'll pay the special introductory price of $30 to keep Bottom Line coming for a year, which means you'll get a free copy of The Best Revenge with explanations for everything you've read in this magazine. You'd probably pay $25 to $30 for such a book in stores if they had one, but there's no, so there's scarcity right there. Grab this compelling offer today and start to really get your money's worth. So again, we just have a hero shot of everything you get. You get free trial bonus, free when you subscribe, and free 6 issues. And we have a highbrow guarantee. So I like how, Jim Rutz is giving this a little fantasy name here. And then send no money, this is the soft offer part here. Just, send this back so that you get on the buyer's list. And then eventually, once people, even if they just use 1 or 2 tips from this collection, like, do you imagine someone will be able to make an extra, I don't know, $100 off of 1 tip that they learned from one of these? Well, definitely. And then, everything pays for itself many, many times over. Here, this is kind of like a proof section. I'm actually missing proof sections here. There's not many testimonials. So this is all pure curiosity and benefit-based copy here, because it's basically made up of an endless amount of fascinations and content as well. So it gives away a lot of content, but we don't really see social proof or testimonials or other stuff like that. At the end, we see the panel who's basically assembling these tips, when it comes to self-help and inspiration and taxes and health and all these things. These are probably like paid writers or like researchers and experts that Bottom Line pays. And then this one's just probably the envelope copy itself. It says, this month, your secret car warranty. Save money on expensive cars. How Larry and Cherie cope with too much money and an 18-foot garage. Ski free in Colorado. So as you can see, the envelope itself is all curiosity. It's all fascination based. It's like, wow, I wonder about, I don't know, how to cope with too much money. That sounds interesting. Or if not, it's like, oh, I like skiing. How can I ski free in Colorado? Or how can I, get these travel bargains, right? It's very, very powerful. So as you can see, once again, fascinations, one of the most important things in copywriting. And sometimes if you start writing a sales letter, you just start writing out a bunch of fascinations yourself, because then it's going to get your juices flowing and you're going to have so many great ideas. Eventually, you'll never ever have to struggle with like blank page syndrome anymore. So yeah, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Kudos to Jim Rutz. He's amazing. He was amazing. And if you enjoyed the video, then definitely like it, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, share it with others, and leave a comment below. Let me know your number one thing that connected with you, maybe a specific fascination, maybe an insight or something, maybe something that I said, maybe something from the design, anything that caught your eye. Leave a comment below. I love starting these conversations. So thanks again for watching, and I'm gonna see you tomorrow.